We're talking about L'Oreal today, which may come as a bit of a surprise. I definitely am, seeing as I'm on their L'Oreal Star programme. So during 2024 to 2025, there has been allegations that L'Oreal are linked to supply chains that are basically run through child labour. It's been said that Lancome, who is owned by L'Oreal, have been using supply chains in Egypt where children as young as 5 years old have been picking jasmine. In no world, in no lifetime, in no universe is it acceptable for a 5-year-old child to be doing labour of any kind. A job of any kind. They are children. They've been on this planet for 5 years. And you're sending them out to go work for you. To go pick jasmine for your products. Are you taking the actual piss? There's something not... I'm failing to see how this could even happen. L'Oreal as a brand is massive, huge. They can't afford to not know what is going on in the background. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they didn't know, because as of the end of last year, 2025, they are doing their investigations. Or so they've said. 5-year-old children picking jasmine for Lancome. My son is only a few years older than that. And I could not imagine sending him out anywhere to do any kind of work. Like schooling hard enough. Like trying to navigate your way through life at the age of 5 isn't hard enough. Everything new to you. And these massive brands' thoughts are, okay, you're 5 now, you better get to work. Are you for real? You're surely not. So that was the first thing that started it, shall we say. I just want to say as well, I am on the L'Oreal Star programme, which is L'Oreal's creator programme. As it is right now, I don't know how I'm going to move forward with this. I don't know whether to cut off contacts with them. I don't know whether to express my concerns about the practices that they've got going on and see what they are actively doing to try and rectify it. I just don't know the best way forward. I don't understand how this is happening. We're in 2026, how is this allowed to happen? And if L'Oreal didn't know about this, how has this been allowed to happen without them knowing? 5-year-old children picking jasmine for Lancome. If that isn't the true definition of child labour, I don't know what is. Please, can someone... I feel like I'm losing my mind. Honestly, I need someone to tell me I'm not going crazy here. 5 years old. That's a baby. But this isn't the first time that L'Oreal have been involved in some kind of misconduct or just bad publicity. In 2009, a French court actually found L'Oreal guilty of racial discrimination. This was because they were seeking specifically BBR, which was Blanc, Bleu and Rouge candidates to promote their products. This was like a code kind of thing for white people, basically. How is that okay? That happened in 2009. First of all, I didn't know about this until I was doing my research this morning. I didn't know any of that. And I just find it funny. Not funny, ha ha. Funny as in, are you taking the piss? That happened in 2009. And it's been swept under the carpet. I guarantee, if you ask people if they knew about this incident, at least half of them will say no. And why is that? L'Oreal are very good at marketing. And I think, in my opinion, they've brushed that under the carpet. They've tried to hide that that's happened. No, I don't live in France, I live in England. But that's still something I should know about, and it's still something I think a lot of people should know about. You wanted specifically white people to promote your products. Why? Because white's superior. They've also been accused of lightening celebrities' skin in promotions, campaigns, things like that. Beyonce specifically. I've seen this with my own eyes. There is no way some of the photos that are taken of Beyonce are how she looks in real life. We know she is a beautiful caramel goddess. Why are you trying to make her lighter? Why are you trying to make her look lighter? Lighter, fair, does not equate to beauty. Yes, everyone is beautiful. Yes, light people are beautiful too. Fair people are beautiful too. But that is not the epitome of beauty. There are so many different skin tones in this world, and you can't tell me, you just cannot tell me if you're a certain colour, if you're a certain shade, if you're a certain tone, that you're not beautiful. Because what has that got to do with anything? The world would be such a boring, dull place if everyone looked the same. Imagine going outside and seeing everyone with the same skin tone, looking the same kind of hair. That's not a world I want to live in. And if that's your idea of a good world, of the best kind of world, then you're part of the problem. So whilst we're still on the topic of race, and racism specifically actually, there were an incident in 2017 with L'Oreal's first transgender model. Her name was Monroe Bergdorf, and she was fired for speaking out about systemic racism. How is that a reason to fire somebody? It's almost like you don't want them to talk about it. Why is that? Then, during the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, when L'Oreal was facing criticism, accusations of racial hypocrisy, only then did they decide to rehire her as a consultant. Guess what for? For its diversity and inclusion advisory board. So we're just doing 180s, are we, L'Oreal? We're just doing a 180. And again, it's something I haven't heard about, which means there wasn't enough outrage. They've fired somebody for speaking out about systemic racism. Then 3 years later, they've rehired her as a consultant for diversity and inclusion. Why didn't you just keep her anyway? Why was there an issue with her speaking out about racism? When is that ever a problem? Never. That's never a problem. The problem is the racist people, the racism itself, not the people speaking out against it. That's what we need more of. And you're firing her. Have a word with yourself. So we've got systemic racism, racial discrimination, and then we've got OnlyFans. In July last year, 2025, Urban Decay thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to just do something nobody's ever done before. And what was that? Hire an OnlyFans model, an OnlyFans creator, to be the face of the campaign. To be the face of the brand, essentially. So they hired someone called Ari Kitsia, who is an OnlyFans creator. They hired her as the ambassador for the brand. But not only did they do that, they also changed the slogan. And what is that slogan, you might ask? What is that slogan? Urban Decay likes it raw. As well as things like uncensored makeup that can be used on stage, on camera, and yes, on mattresses. Why are we doing this? Makeup is makeup, it's beauty, it's for all ages. Why are you bringing an OnlyFans creator into the mix? And advertising it like it's some fucking sex site, it's too graphic for younger audiences. You have young teens watching these advertisements, following you on Instagram, following you on all social media platforms, and you want to use an OnlyFans content creator and have very suggestive slogans like that. Why does a teenage girl or a teenage boy need to know that your makeup is good even on mattresses? What relevance does that have? We need to stop sexualising makeup. It's not solely there for the male gaze or the female gaze. You're not trying to, when you're putting on makeup, you're not trying to attract the attention of the opposite sex. More often than not, you're doing it to make yourself feel better. You're applying it to make yourself feel better as a form of artistry, as a form of makeup therapy. You are not there. Makeup is not there to please the opposite sex. You're Urban Decay, not Durex. Where's the correlation? It makes no sense, and you made yourself look at it. I mean, ever since Face Bond, I haven't been down with Urban Decay anyway, because everyone made such a thing of this foundation, and not only did they send me a shade that was about 400 shades too dark for my skin tone, but it wasn't great. It was too drying. Obviously, that's my preference, that's my skin type and things like that, but I haven't really been on good terms with them since then. I don't really like the products anymore, unless it comes to like eyeshadows and things like that. I do like the glitter eyeshadows that they do, but after that, I just think, who is your audience? Who are you trying to reach here? There's so many things wrong with it. Stop sexualising makeup. Stop having these suggestive campaigns and suggestive ads and using content creators from OnlyFans to sell your products. There is more than enough beauty creators for you to choose from. You don't need to go searching on OnlyFans. I'm struggling to see the correlation. Yes, she might wear makeup, but what has that got to do? That's the only link there. That is the only link there. She's not a makeup content creator. She doesn't have a YouTube channel for makeup. She doesn't have an Instagram account. She doesn't have a TikTok for makeup. She's an OnlyFans content creator. And we know what OnlyFans is for. So why do you think it's acceptable to be using her? Of all people you could have asked. Again, I think it's another form of rage baiting. Are we not past that? Are L'Oreal not big enough as a brand to not have to do that? Urban Decay. Whoever. It actually makes me feel a bit sick, because why are you trying to link them both like that? When you know you've got a young audience. When you know the majority of people probably watching are going to be young. Too young for that. My little sister loves Urban Decay and she's 14. I could not imagine her seeing that advert, and it upsets me that she's going to be seeing this ambassador, this new ambassador, the face of this brand, and she might be like, oh, who's this? Do a bit of research, and your OnlyFans comes up. So then that's putting something in young people's minds, saying that it's okay, and I'm all for. I'm all pro-choice. You can choose whatever career you want. But don't push that onto kids. Kids don't need to see that. They shouldn't be exposed to that. What you do with your life as an adult is your decision, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with OnlyFans, or if you have an OnlyFans, that's fine, you do you. But what I do have an issue with is exposing it to younger people against their will. They don't know what it is. Leave them to be children and leave them to be innocent. Not exposed to unnecessary shit. Glamorising the porn industry to young children, in a nutshell. That's what I feel. And as we know, this can lead to many different unhealthy habits in the future for him. Is that what we want for our kids? Is that really what we want? Because I don't. And it's a bit strange as well, because L'Oreal have something called a value charter. which essentially prohibits partnerships with influencers or people, whatever whatever you want to say, whatever you want to refer to them as, prohibits partnerships with them if they've produced any kind of adult material. So taking that into account, how and why have Urban Decay both chosen and managed to have Ari as their brand ambassador? Because if L'Oreal, who is the owner of Urban Decay, has this value charter prohibiting that, how has it been allowed? So the value charter's just bullshit then. That's what I'm getting from that. You just make things up, put it out into the public to ease the mind, and then just go against it. That's an ethical thing to do, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen. As it is right now, I'm not impressed with L'Oreal at all. I do feel that I'm going to email and speak to someone about it, see what steps they've taken to actually try and sort any of this. But it's just one thing after the other, isn't it? Is that someone I want to be working with? No, it ain't. I feel like this year is just kind of revealing the brands with ethics and the brands without them. And it's sad to see which ones don't have them. But here we are. There'll always be makeup brands out there. There'll always be other things to use. So if it does turn out that L'Oreal are just not doing what they need to be doing, then I will happily get rid. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if this channel is your vibe. Love you. Bye.